speaking of you being the greatest unsigned talent today, I mean, you've made a huge impact in the ECWA in the past 2 years. You held their heavyweight championship for 560 days, and last year you had the honor of, I wouldn't say the honor, you had the work ethic to, yeah, I'm the mumbling, stumbling idiot of the group, and I'm the only one here doing the interview with you tonight, so I apologize for that. You have the work ethic to persevere in the Super 8 and join a long list of amazing talent to be the Super 8 winner. What was that experience like for you?
Well, first off, it's not that long, and I know you've probably heard that a million times, you know.
That's what she said.
It's only 15 people. It's only 15 people who won the Super 8, you know, and just to be within the elite who have the opportunity of winning the tournament's an honor. I mean, it's always been a dream of mine to compete in the tournament and obviously win it. Never thought it would happen. I've been trying forever to try to get my foot in the door and get into the tournament, and for whatever rhyme or reason, it never happened. But you know what? I'm a true believer and a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. It just wasn't my time. So last year, you know, I had the opportunity. I earned my spot by wrestling Tommaso Ciampa, beat him, got into the Super 8, and then, you know, first round, stole the entire show wrestling Tony Nese at match of the night. If you ask anyone who went, they tell you that, and I'm not just saying that to put myself over, even though I love putting myself over. Everyone who knows me will tell you that. But then wrestled Bobby Fish in a very hard-fought match, and then had the opportunity of slapping Bandito in the finals and taking the prize home. And you know, it was an honor. It was a dream come true. You know, it was surreal. You know, at the moment, because I couldn't believe it actually happened. But you know, just like my ancestors, the Greeks, we make history. I mean, the Greeks invented everything. They invented wrestling. You know, they're the forefathers of sports entertainment. They invented wrestling. They invented the theater. They invented mathematics, philosophy, astronomy. You name it, we've done it. Hell, you know, if it wasn't for the Greeks, who knows where civilization would be nowadays. But point being is this: last year I made history being the first ever wrestler to go in as a heavyweight champion, ECWA heavyweight champion, come out ECWA heavyweight champion, and the winner. Now, I'm in this year's Super 8 as well, and I'm looking to make history again, being the first individual to ever win it back-to-back. And you would join a wonderful company, being that Christopher Daniels is the only person that's won it 2 years in a row. But you know, regardless of how long that name of lists are, to have your name up there with the Ace Darlings and the Low Keys and the Jerry Lynn's and the Aiden Chambers, I mean, that just speaks volumes of your talent in the ring, and they don't just call you the greatest unsigned talent today for nothing. Speaking about becoming the first back-to-back Super 8 champion, you have quite the competition April 13th in North Delaware. Michael Elgin, Mike Mondo, who seems to be like he's going to be a thorn in your side the next month and a half. Damian Dragon, who's waited 100 years to get a shot at the Super 8. The Facade, the list goes on and on. I mean, they didn't even figure out who the 8th guy is yet. Do you feel like this is a huge challenge for you? Well, every individual brings a certain dynamic to the table. Besides a high flyer, you know, the kid does some floopity-doops and flippity-flops that are very amazing. And I'm not just saying it to take anything away from him or belittle him. That's his style. He's a daredevil. He's a risk-taker. And God bless him. You know? Well, I guess I just did. But aside from that, what I'm saying is, like, you have the high flyer. And then you have Damian Dragon, who's the underdog, or the quote-unquote veteran who's been waiting for everybody to get his foot in the door, which was kind of my spot last year. You know, so, people have their sayings about Damian, and, you know, I personally think Damian's a great worker and a good wrestler, and, you know, he earned it. You know, as far as if our paths cross, what's going to happen, he'll just have to lose like everybody else who faced me, but that's another story. Then you have Mondo, Mondo, who's a former WWE superstar, and he's looking to rebuild, obviously, his career, and he's doing great with Ring of Honor before he got sidelined with his injury, and, you know, you said he's going to be a thorn in my side. I mean, he's a good thorn to have. He brings out, the best in me, and I bring out the best in him, and, we train together at NYWC, and we go, like the other day, we were there on a Thursday night, and we wrestled for 40-plus minutes. and we hardly took any bumps. It was all chain wrestling and psychology, and just going back and forth and testing each other, and it was great. It was a great experience, and he's obviously had something to prove, and that's great because it's going to come out in his work, and the fans are going to enjoy it, and at the end of the night, the fans are going to be the winners because they're going to get their money's worth. And then you have guys like Elgin, who's a powerhouse. I mean, this guy's a beast, man. The guy's bench pressing Buicks and curling freaking 125, 150 pounds, with his fingertips. He's a monster. He reminds me of a rhino, or whatever you want to relate him to. It doesn't really matter. The guy's just a beast. He's a strong man of the group.
Hey, so
you have guys. Who else is going to be in it?
Chris Wilde.
The kid's an up-and-comer, former, even though he stole the title from me, and, I'll say to this day, the kid can't beat me, but he stole the title from me. He's a good up-and-comer. He has a lot of potential. He's a former champion, and that's inspiring in itself, and he was in the Super 8, so he has experience in the past, so, that's an advantage. You have myself, former winner. I can go the distance, and that's not a problem, and, I'm looking to take it and make history again, so I'm obviously a threat. And then you have guys, who else is there?
Wardell Walker's in it.
Yeah, Wardell Walker, he's a guy that I've seen here and there, heard his name here and there from Florida, I believe, and from what I understood, he beat up Rick Steiner one time, and, ever since then, he's been working this guy, working that guy, and having good matches here and there. So, obviously he has something to prove, and he wants this opportunity to make him, to shine on a bigger stage and use that to propel his career, because this tournament obviously has helped a lot of individuals skyrocket their careers to the next level. So, everyone has, something to prove. No one's just coming in and saying, hey, I'm happy to be here. Everyone's going to come, guns blazing, head down, and they're going to be, looking to take everybody out so they can be the one who's standing on top of the mountain at the end of the night. And on the 16th of March, you're going to have a four-way at ECWA that she was the last participant.
Right, Ricky the Model is involved.
Papadon.
Yeah. Apollon. Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah.
Apollon, and the fourth person is who's not four? It's Model, Apollon, Coca-Cola, and who's number four?
I don't know. I didn't write it down.
Now you didn't do your homework. So
trust me, I did my homework. That was one of the few. I didn't write it down because you weren't on that card.
Oh, yeah, brownie points. Look at you. Seriously, I personally hope, and I personally see Apollon winning that match, and I hope he does, because this kid Apollon is the longest reigning NYWC champion in history.
He's a beast.
He is a beast, and I would love to see Apollon and Michael Elgin go at it at the Super 8. I think that match could be match of the night, and Elgin's a strong powerhouse, and then you have Apollon, who's like a young version of a Bam Bam Bigelow, of a Rhino. The guy is 300 plus pounds, but he moves like a cruiserweight. It's unheard of the way he moves in the ring. He has such grace and the guy's like, he's amazing, and there's a reason he's been NYWC champion for so long. And, fact of the matter is, the Super 8's a little bit more tougher. It's a little tougher on everybody because the competition is going to be stepping it up. And I'm looking forward to it, because when I beat everybody, it just makes me so much better. You know what I'm saying? So,
I hear you.
At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. You're only as good as your competition.
Now, you mentioned that the Super 8 has elevated all these other people. Do you feel like it's elevated your career? I mean, since you've won the Super 8, you were involved in the Extreme Rising promotion. I guess you're a regular at Dragon Gate USA and Evolve. You're in the mix in the NWA for the World Championship. Do you feel like winning the Super 8 puts you on top of that mountain?
Absolutely. It's funny because people in the business like to be the cool guy and say, oh, this doesn't matter anymore. That's not where it's supposed to be. It doesn't have the same precedence as it once has. But the fact of the matter is, the Super 8's the original tournament. Super 8's the only tournament that's covered by PWI. Fact of the matter is, it has, you win that tournament, you're in an elite group of guys, like you said. So some of the names who won the tournament, like Ace Starling, Low-Key, Christopher Daniels. I mean, these guys have went on to win and done great things with their careers, you know, Paul London, you know what I'm saying? Just to name a few. But fact is, you know, when I won that tournament, all eyes opened up a little bit wider. I said, hey, who's this guy? Maybe we should give him a shot or whatever the case may be.